is in session. Quiet, please.
Jefferson County Court at Law Number 2 is now in session. First case is on our announcement docket. It's style of State of Texas versus Logan Chase Myers, cause number 325-704. Mr. Myers, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Myers?
Doing well, sir.
That's good. Mr. Myers, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Mark Faggart. Mr. Faggart, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
That's good. And the state is represented by Attorney Blake Ham. Attorney Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Mr. Faggart, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, if you would allow us to, Mr. Ham has made an offer on the case. And if you can reset it for 60 days, Mr. Myers has some pending cases in some other counties that I'm trying to wrap up all at one time. If you can give me 60 days on this one, maybe we can get them all done by then.
Okay, give us a court date.
May 20th.
Okay, Mr. Myers, this case is reset to May 20th of 2022. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Faggart, I
think that's it for me.
this is it. I think because your other case was dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor.
I think that was Brittany Living.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, I think she's here, so you probably can go give her dismissal and you'll be free to go.
Well, thank you.
All right, you have a blessed day. Trial docket. Okay. Tara McInnes.
She's right outside, Your Honor.
Okay. This dismissal is on living. Should have been the first one. Mr. Ham? Mr. Ham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is back in session in two cases. First case is cause number 327-756. Second case is cause number 327-758. Both cases are style of State of Texas versus Tara Ann McInnes. Ms. McInnes, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. McInnes? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. McInnes, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor, thank you.
Attorney Lane, what is your announcement? This case is on the trial docket. What is your announcement in Ms. McInnes' case?
We're ready, Your Honor.
State?
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, just Ms. McInnes, you can go and have a seat outside. We're gonna set the trial order probably a little bit.
Okay, Your Honor.
You
May I
have-
make a-
Yes, you can if
and
you
I'll
have something else to do.
rush back. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, yes, that's my mistake.
I don't know which. I'm gonna get out of this.
Okay, thank you. Actually, that's James's mistake.
Miss,
Right, I don't know which one.
Mr. Bailey, could you please call, see if Jeff Truss and Terrell Antoine is present on the pretrial conference plea docket? Oh, good morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's your name?
That's Terrell Antoine.
Right,
Your
okay.
Honor.
This is cause number 323-888. Case is style of state of Texas versus Terrell Norvell Antoine III. Mr. Antoine, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Antoine, you're here represented by your attorney, Laura Perazo. Attorney Perazo, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Perazo, what is your announcement in Mr. Antoine's case?
Your Honor, if I could have just a few minutes to visit with Blake, I think we're gonna get this worked out today and it should be a plea.
Okay, we'll hold.
Okay.
Okay, and Jeff Truss is not here yet?
Your Honor, I did try,
No answer.
yes, I did try calling him and it went straight to voicemail.
Okay,
So I'm not really sure. what's
okay,
going
we'll,
on with that.
we'll move on to some other cases.
Yes, sir.
All right.
One day.
Broke down May 27. Down May 27. I mean, I guess it's possible he was held on something else somewhere else. That's all.
Mr. Bell, could you please get Attorney Wright Kimler's cases on, go get his clients on the trial docket? Yes, well, Scott Moore is on the, on Zoom. We have, well, Skinner was dismissed. Yes. And, okay, you got Kiana Ozan. Stephen Sattler is here. And Russell Depp is here.
She's here.
Mr. Kimler, you can come on up. Ms. Ozan, sit in one of the chairs that have the black and yellow tape on the back. Yes, is it, yeah, any one of the chairs that have the black and yellow tape on the back.
Not today.
He's dead, right?
Oh, he's dead. Well, that takes care of the case.
Court is back in session. We're gonna have our trial docket. First case that we're calling is cause number 321-380. Case is style of state of Texas versus Scott Moore. Scott Moore is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Moore, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Moore, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Wright Kimler. Attorney Kimler, how are you doing?
Well, Your Honor, thank you.
That's good. Attorney Kimler, Mr. Moore's case is on the fourth trial docket. What is your announcement?
Ready?
State?
Your Honor, the state's filed a motion to continue in this case because our trooper is been
You have a
deployed to
copy
the
of the
border.
motion to continue? Okay, I got it. It's cause number 321-380, state. Defense, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor. No, thank you.
Okay, this motion, state's motion to continue will be granted. This is the 21st.
Board at the border. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Moore, your case has been continued. That simply means you're gonna get a new reset date. Could you give us another date? There's a trial, set on the trial. I'm not next available. Okay, Mr. Moore, your case is gonna be reset to May 23rd of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Okay. And Stephen Skinner,
Dismissed.
yes, that case has been dismissed. Kiana Ozan,
She's present.
would you please come forward? This is cause number 325-680, status, the case is style of state of Texas versus Kiana Ozan or Kiana Deshawn Ozan. Ms. Ozan, is that your full name? Okay, Ms. Ozan, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Sick? She's sick, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you been to the hospital to check on that?
I got kind of long story. I got robbed before, but kind of have to get another ID.
Oh, okay. Mr. Kimler, what's your announcement?
Well, she's sick. I don't know if we want to proceed.
Okay.
Leave it up to the court. This is one, the
But-
court may recall, we've tried this case previously with a different district attorney. It's a 5-1 not guilty. It's like it's not an assault, it's interference, in public sermon.
Safety, okay.
And I think I discussed with the previous district, JP to disorderly conduct, not about a $500 fine, but
That's the offer.
$100 fine might be more, more amenable to those. But let me discuss that with you.
Okay, I'll hold on it. Ms. Ozan, you could go have a seat. Okay. Okay, hold on a minute.
What?
Yeah, it's time for the reset on that trial for Scott. Stephen Sadler, would you come forward, please? This is cause number 327-050, case of style of state of Texas versus Stephen Mark Sadler. Mr. Sadler, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Sadler, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Wright Kimler. Mr. Kimler, what is your announcement? This case is on the trial docket.
I'm ready on it, John. I just need to advise the court that I've got probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cases at the 1 o'clock trial docket in Judge Stevens' court.
Okay,
And so he may put me to trial on one of those, but
Okay.
subject to that, I'm ready.
so you're not ready to state?
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Sadler, you can have a seat.
Then I've got, how many cases set for trial in drug court also at 2 o'clock. So I may get put to trial on a felony in one of those 2 courts.
Okay.
But subject to that.
Okay.
Oh, it's ready on board with the state. File 15.
Russell Knapp,
I'm not ready. Yep.
the court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 330-436. Second case is cause number 330-438. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Russell Ryan Knapp. Mr. Knapp, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Knapp?
Good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Knapp, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Wright Kimler. Attorney Kimler, what is your announcements in Mr. Knapp's cases?
Your Honor, I'm ready, subject to the other trial setting they have today in felony court. The state's conveyed an offer, which I'll relate to Mr. Neff here and see if he wants to take it. If he doesn't, then like I say, I'm ready, subject to those felony settings.
State.
Ready, Judge?
Okay, all right. Mr. Knapp, just have a seat. And I thank Mr. Kimler. These are all your cases on the trial docket that's set. So we'll give you the opportunity to go talk to your clients. Wendell Melanson.
Here, Judge.
Mr. Bailey, would you please get Mr. Wendell? Oh, he is. Okay, court's in session in two cases. First case is cause number 328-346. Second case is cause number 328-348. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Wendell D. Melanson or Wendell David Melanson Jr. Mr. Melanson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Melanson? That's good. Mr. Melanson, you're here represented by your attorney, Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how you doing?
We're good, Judge, thanks.
Attorney Parker, what is your announcement in Mr. Melanson cases?
I have offers on the case, Judge. I need a little more time because I haven't got the video yet. I've ordered it twice.
Okay,
But I'll check. I was out of town last week, so I don't know if it's maybe ready now, but
okay, how much time do you need?
just a regular reset refund, Judge.
Okay. May 9th? Okay, Mr. Parker, Mr. Melanson's cases are going to be reset to May 9th of 2022. You can sign for his reset, and Mr. Melanson, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Parker, I think this is your only case.
I have a
Casey.
Mr. Jackson, I believe,
Jackson?
Ryan Jackson.
Jackson.
He's on the announcement docket, Judge.
Oh, yeah,
It's
the
a new
next page.
case.
Ryan Jackson?
He's outside.
Would you get Ryan Jackson?
Yes.
Your Honor, Ms. Ozane is going to take the JP reduction.
Okay,
So, yeah, we'll need a reset, Judge.
okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Fix it, Judge.
Okay. Next case is cause number 330-670. Case is style of state of Texas versus Ryan Stephen Jackson. Mr. Jackson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr.
I'm
Jackson?
good. What about you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Parker, what is your announcement in Mr. Jackson's case?
I don't have an offer yet. The prosecutor just now gave me an offer, but I need a little time to go to discovery. I haven't looked at all the discovery yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just need a standard reset?
Yes, Judge.
What's that date?
May 9th.
Okay. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to May 9th of 2022. Mr. Parker is gonna sign for your reset. Mr. Jackson, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
What's the and no contact? Yeah, where it says PITP.
Excuse me.
Yes, you may be excused. You have a blessed day. Emmanuel Cantu. Trial docket. Page 2 plus.
Still in the pre-trial. Did he double check?
I see something about approved. That was back in 2020.
Double check the file here. Jared, what's that case?
Case number 30.
326248. I have nothing to dispute. He's in it.
Oh, it's saying that's when he was approved. Did he ever start it?
I'm not sure. Could we have a minute?
Yes, I'll hold on it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay. Mr. Bailey, could you please get Jacoby Robinson? Good morning.
Good morning.
Announcement docket, page 3, right in the middle.
All right, then.
Thanks.
Did you get it? Okay. Mr. Robinson, please come forward. Court is in session and calls number 329247. Case is style of State of Texas versus Jacoby Shaeen Marquise Robinson. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Robinson?
I'm doing good, Your Honor.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Robinson, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Charles Johnson. Attorney Johnson, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Judge.
That's good. Attorney Johnson, what is your announcement in Mr. Robinson's case?
Your Honor, I still have some discovery issues that I need to resolve with the state. I am currently undergoing cancer treatment, so I've been in and out.
How much?
Dealing with that, but Mr. Ham and I are going to get those discovery issues resolved very shortly. And Mr. Robinson is in the military, and he has a field assignment to, is it Guatemala? Yes. To Guatemala coming up very, very soon. And how long will he be?
3 months.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, that's
Okay. So we're probably gonna have to give him like a 6-month reset.
Sounds right to me, Judge.
Yeah, because it'll be after Yeah. Let's give us a reset for about 6 months. Yeah.
And we, Mr. Hammond, I will have that resolved by the time he returns from his obligations. So.
Okay. What? September 19th?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let's see, that's Robinson, okay. Mr. Robinson, your case is gonna be reset to September 19th of 2022. Your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Attorney Johnson will be praying that you have a full and speedy recovery.
I appreciate it, Charles.
And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you,
All
you
right.
too.
All right. Okay. Yes. What's your client's name?
Alexander Martinez. Judge.
What document? Okay, Mr. Bailey, could you please get Mr. Alexander Paul Martinez? Alexander Martinez. Court is in session in cause number 331206. Case is filed State of Texas versus Alexander Paul Martinez. Mr. Martinez, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, how are you doing? You doing okay? That's good. Mr. Martinez, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Saeed Imam.
Yes, Judge.
How you doing, Attorney Imam?
Good, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Attorney Imam, what is your announcement? Well, and Mr. Martinez has another case too, cause number 331208. And Attorney Imam, what is your announcements in Mr. Martinez cases?
Judge, we're asking for 30 more days on his cases. He has a pending felony. We just appeared in Judge West's courtroom. She's given us 30 days. We're getting some mental health records over to the state to consider, and then they're going to get us an offer on those cases.
Okay.
And I'd like to get that worked out before we proceed on this.
Okay, have you received your court date from down there yet?
We have not, Judge. When we were just over there, she said that they would be faxing it to us later today.
Okay, and so what we'll do, now, do you want these cases set on the same day of the felony?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so what we'll do, the court coordinator will check the computer to see when they input a court date. And once they input the court date, then we'll set these two cases on the same day.
Yes, sir, will do. And if I hear what the court date is sooner, I will reach out and let you all know.
Okay, that's fine. So Attorney Imam, you're free to go, and Mr. Martinez, you're free to go as well. And both of y'all have blessed days.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Attorney Barrington, did Stephen Morton show up?
Yes, sir. How are you, Judge?
Okay, you ready on that one?
I'm trying to find the plea.
Oh,
things,
okay,
So I'm having
that's fine.
a rough time, and so us from the sticks don't know how to do technology.
They can give you the number. I think there's a certain number that you have to, he's from out of town.
Yeah, we would be cleaning her right now, but her husband had a surgery right now, so she took it. I'll make the court.
Court is in session and calls number 328-378, case of style of state of Texas versus Catherine Jefferson.
Yes,
We have Ms. Jefferson appearing via Zoom. Ms. Jefferson, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. Ms. Jefferson, you're here represented by your attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
What is your announcement in Ms. Jefferson's case?
We'll go on your plea docket, Your Honor. We anticipated disposing of it this morning, and her husband had a surgery that she got into, so she'll be here in person next time, and we will dispose of it.
How much time do you need?
30 days would be fine, Your Honor.
May 9th? Okay.
Sounds good, Your Honor.
Ms. Jefferson, your case will be reset till May 9th of 2022. Your attorney will be given, and your attorney, will be sent notice of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney. We're praying that your husband have a speedy recovery. This will conclude your
Thank
case.
you.
Okay, you're free to go.
Thank
and
you.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I do believe we have one of my pleas ready, Your Honor, and he's from out of town, so if we could.
Court is back in session. Court is in session on the court's announcement docket. The next case is cause number 329680. The case is style of state of Texas versus Max McElwee. Mr. McElwee, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McElwee, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. McElwee, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McElwee, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. McElwee?
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. McElwee, you're here represented by your attorney James Paget. And Mr. McElwee, I have before me a document that is titled Information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about March 16th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activity. Mr. McElwee, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. McElwee, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the right?
Yeah, he's got two, so we're gonna plea on the DWI
Oh.
and dismiss the UCW case.
Okay, let me, okay.
680 is the.
Yeah, they don't have them together. They got one kid, yo, here they go, okay. Let me go back on the record, okay.
Sorry about that.
Mr. McElwee, I have before me two cases. The first case is cause number 329680. And the second case is cause number 329684. In cause number 329680, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about March 16th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. McElwee, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. McElwee, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. McElwee, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, MM, on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 2 of the same document, Mr. McElwee, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. McElwee, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of a document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, there's a signature at the bottom above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there is one box that's checked. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? I have another document before me, Mr. McElwee, that's titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. McElwee, before you signed and initialed these documents that I have just mentioned, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McElwee, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor. No objections to State's Exhibit Number 1, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Paget, you've advised and counseled Mr. McElwee. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. McElwee, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McElwee, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 180 days in jail, probated over a term of 2 years, a $1,500 fine, 60 hours of community service, completion of DWI education classes, a drug and alcohol assessment, and interlock device. And that's in case number 329680. Additionally, the state will be dismissing case number 329-684
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
in exchange for forfeiture of weapons involved.
Okay. Okay, now, Mr. McAwee, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 2 years. During the 2 years probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,500 plus court costs of $417, which comes to a total of $1,917. You be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You will be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea, should a further evaluation be needed. You'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $160. Mr. McAwee, will you be able to pay the $160?
Yes, sir.
You'll be required to perform 60 hours of community service. Gotta put it 10 sleep. You're gonna be required to attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And the state will be dismissing cause number 329-684 with the forfeiture of the weapon. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of your probation. Mr. McAwee, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain that you have entered into with the state, Mr. McAwee. I have before me cause number 329-684. And in this case, Mr. McAwee, I have before me a motion to forfeit. Let me do this here.
I'm not sure why we couldn't get the case number right.
Oh, okay.
Multiple times.
There's no we to it, it's me.
I just did it like that, okay. Now, Mr. McAwee, I have before me a motion to forfeit. And Mr. McAwee, and this is in cause number 329-684. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McAwee, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McAwee, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. McAwee, I will grant the state's motion to forfeit. And the weapon will be forfeited to the Texas Department of Public Safety. State, you have another motion?
Your Honor, the state moved to dismiss.
Okay, Mr. McAwee, the state has moved to dismiss this case, and I'll be signing the dismissal. in a few seconds. Yeah, I've got to put incomplete. Yeah, but that's, I mean, he has to not just attend, he has to complete it. So what I'll have to do is, I mean, I can type it in.
We can change it. I can add to that sentence.
Oh, you can? Okay,
That's standard.
okay.
The way it
I know.
comes out, so.
CC. Okay, McElwee. Okay, Mr. McElwee, stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, hold on a minute.
It's a guilty plea.
Court is now in session in cause number 3299940, case of style the state of Texas versus John Raphael Savoy Jr. Mr. Savoy, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Savoy, how you doing?
I'm all right. You?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Savoy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Savoy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Savoy, you may put your hand down. Mr. Savoy, I have before me an information that has been filed by the district attorney's office. This information alleges that on or about May 14th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated when an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Savoy, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Savoy, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Savoy, I have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishment. And Mr. Savoy, on page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. The initials are JS. Mr. Savoy, did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Savoy, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Savoy, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Paget, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Savoy, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections to states 1, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Paget, you have advised and counseled Mr. Savoy. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Savoy, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Savoy, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 90 days in jail, probated over a term of 15 months. $700 fine, 40 hours of community service, drug and alcohol assessments, completion of DWI education classes, and interlock device.
What about a drug and alcohol assessment?
Yes, Your Honor, drug and alcohol
Okay.
assessment.
Mr. Savoy, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $700 plus court costs, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $1,122. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. I think this was wrong. You got court-appointed attorney's fees in here? Not court-appointed.
It doesn't pop up for me unless they are, unless they're put in the system as court appointed.
He's not he's not on the list.
That's what I thought too, but he's listed as.
Well, we're gonna have to take it, we're gonna have to take it out.
Yeah. in there.
It would be, be in recess. Okay, the court's back in session and calls number 329940. A case of style of State of Texas versus John Raphael Savoy Jr. Previously, Mr. Savoy was sworn in. He entered a plea of guilty to the charge of driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. He acknowledged that his signatures and initials were on State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and he acknowledged his signature was on the trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal, and the discovery certification. The state has made an offer to Mr. Savoy. The court has accepted Mr. Savoy's plea. The court found that he was mentally competent to stand trial. The court also found that his plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And the court has found that there is sufficient evidence to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, would you like to repeat the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state's offer was 90 days in jail, probated over a term of 15 months, a $700 fine, 40 hours of community service, drug and alcohol assessments, completion of DWI education classes, and interlock device.
Okay. Mr. Savoy, the state is offering that you serve a fine, or that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. And that will be probed. However, you will not have to serve any time in jail because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $700 plus court costs of $422. And this comes to a total of $1,122. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments for this offense is $155 per month. Mr. Savoy, will you be able to pay the $155 per month? Mr. Savoy, you'll be required to perform 40 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment. Where's the interlock? You also be required to have an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you also be required to adhere to the standard terms and condition of your probation. Mr. Savoy, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Savoy, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mrs. Savoy, you're gonna stand on X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay, you have some other case.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna go to the pretrial.
There'll be pretrial.
Yeah, I'm gonna start there.
Just speak up. Yes, please.
Okay, this is cause number 330642. Case is style of State of Texas versus Sergio Javier Arrega. Mr. Arrega, is that your full name? Yes?
You have to speak up and say, so she can hear you. Just say yes. It's either yes or no, but she has to hear you, okay?
Okay, Mr. Paget, you have an announcement in Mr. Arrega's case?
He'll go on your plea docket, Your Honor. We have an offer from the state and we're gonna work it out.
Give us a,
He speaks English and Spanish. I just have a translator that's gonna sit in my office with me and we're gonna go over the details, so we'll be prepared for the plea.
what's the, what is it?
May 9th.
Okay, case reset to May 9th, 2022. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a
Thank you.
blessed day. You have a blessed day. You, once you sign first reset.
Yes.
Michael Weed, else reset. Emmanuel Cantu.
Is that my case?
Oh, no, excuse me. No, it's not. I saw, I got, oh, I put the wrong thing. Okay, just hold on a minute. I made a mistake and called Cantu. Jason Sims.
Right outside the door to the left.
And get Daniel Martinez as well. Jason Sims. Okay, court is in session and cause number 326652. Case is style of State of Texas versus Jason Lee Sims Jr. Mr. Sims, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Sims, what, how are you doing?
I'm glad.
I'm doing fine. Mr. Sims, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, Mr. Sims, case on the trial docket, what's your announcement?
We're ready, Your Honor.
State.
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Sims, you can have a seat back outside. We call you up in a little bit. Let's see.
Daniel Martinez.
Yeah, Daniel Martinez. Okay, Mr. Martinez, your full name Daniel Antonio Martinez? How you doing, Mr. Martinez? That's good, Mr. Martinez. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney James Paget, Attorney Paget. Mr. Martinez case is on the court's trial docket. What's your announcement?
We're ready, Your Honor.
State.
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, you can have a seat back outside. And I think that's it. Mr. McIntosh,
Yes, Judge, if I may, this is one of my clients, not all of them.
is it Woodcock?
No, Judge, it's Mr. McQuillan. I'm not going to be able to work his case out before I leave, and he's going to need another attorney appointed to his
Okay,
case.
just, did you
He's right
did you file a motion to withdraw?
No, not yet, Your Honor. I didn't know until today. I wanted to visit with my client and the
Okay.
prosecutor first.
So what
So
we'll
I
do-
will file that, but if we could just get
Okay,
it reset.
okay, what document? He's on the announcement.
Yes, sir, page 2.
Okay, he's at the bottom, page 2. Okay, give us a short reset,
Okay.
30 days. How much time you need for to get that motion?
Oh, I mean, I plan to have it to you today or tomorrow. Just,
1 week reset?
does he need to be here for the motion?
Let me
or-
ask you this here. Does he work?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, well, just a month.
Well, I mean,
I'll
I
get-
didn't know if
yeah.
he has to be here or not since
Yeah.
I'm moving.
Yeah, but I will, I mean, if he, you know what? You can appear on Zoom, if that's possible. Can you do that? If we reset it a week, can you appear via Zoom?
Okay, we'll do it that way.
Okay,
Yeah,
make
that
sure
way
he
you
gets a
don't-
copy too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You'll be free to go once you get your reset and you have a blessed day. What's that date?
March 28th.
March 28th? Okay. You had, that's the only one you,
That's for right now, Judge, yes. Sorry, I appreciate you, Judge. Just trying to get him out of here. So we go.
okay. Jorge Gonzalez? That's Mr. Galmore.
Mr. President, Judge, can we hold that person?
You want to hold?
Yes.
Okay, okay, we're gonna hold on that. You can have a seat. Who was this?
Never mind, Judge, if we could just go ahead and make our announcement.
Okay, I think he's on the trial docket. Yeah, page 3, and then page 2 at the top. Okay. This is cause number 325296. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Jorge Gonzalez. Ms. Gonzalez, is that your full name? Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Gonzalez? Very good. Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, you're represented by Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
I've asked for this why for the same.
Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement?
Yes, Judge, that's still a trial.
This is on the trial that the announcement ready or not?
Well, we announced not ready. Mr. Gonzalez is working in the court right now, and it would be very difficult for him to take off work. And so especially if it doesn't look like he'd be reached, what we're asking the court to do is consider continuing this case.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be reached or not. So you just have to know ahead of time whether or not you're asking for a continuance.
We are asking for continuance just to
State,
avoid.
you have any objections?
No objections.
Okay, okay, so the defense continues. You can get your reset, Mr. Gonzalez, from your attorney. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
We have ready. Is this a mark one?
Should be ready.
Which one? Yes, Captain? Okay. Okay.
Turn in the discovery certificate.
Let's see if you were printed, and I don't think it's come out yet.
Hold on a minute. Court is now in session and calls number 326-248. Case is style of State of Texas versus Manuel Cantu. Mr. Cantu, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cantu, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Okay, Mr. Cantu, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cantu? You doing fine? I'm doing fine as well. Now, Mr. Cantu, you're here represented by your attorney, Jared Gilthorpe, Attorney Gilthorpe. How are you doing? Mr. Cantu. Did I swear? I did. Mr. Cantu, I have before me a document that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about December 25th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place. Mr. Cantu, do you understand what you have been charged with? Yeah, you have to speak up. She's taking a record. Now, and to this charge, Mr. Cantu, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest? Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Cantu, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. There are a set of initials EC on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled guilty. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Cantu, before you signed and initialed these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Cantu, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No objections, Judge.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gilthorpe, you've advised and counseled Mr. Cantu. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Judge.
Mr. Cantu, your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Cantu, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do you have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 90 days probated over a term of 1 year, a $300 fine, 30 hours of community service, DWI education classes to be completed, drug and alcohol assessments, and interlock device.
Mr. Cantu, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $402, which comes to a total of $702. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. And you'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. The total monthly installments for this offense, that is the total amount that you would have to pay each month while you're on probation, is $165. Mr. Cantu, will you be able to pay the $165? You will also be required to perform 30 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Cantu, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Cantu, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Cantu, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Stephen Martin. Court is in session in cause number 324772. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Stephen Aaron Martin. Mr. Martin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Martin?
Doing well, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney Dallas Barrington. Attorney Barrington, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Martin, I have before me an information that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about August 30th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated while you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Martin, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Martin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, I have before me a document that has been titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on the next document, Mr. Martin, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, I also have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
Now, Mr. Martin, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Barrington, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Martin, are you a citizen of the United States?
I am. Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection, John.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Barrington, you advised and counsel Mr. Martin. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin, your attorney, Mr. Barrington, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martin, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement's for 1 year deferred probation, $500 fine, 50 hours of community service, DWI education classes to be completed, drug and alcohol assessments, and interlock device.
Mr. Martin,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve
Deferred judgment coming.
Oh. I was looking at this thing.
Yeah, it's deferred.
Okay. Threw me off. Okay. This offense occurred before September 1st, 2019.
Your Honor, then that is my mistake.
Yeah,
Cannot
so
do
it's not a-
deferred 3 years. The statute.
You can't do it because it's occurred before September 1 of 2019.
Well,
Y'all can,
can we reset?
yeah, we can reset it.
Can we
if-
reset and back up?
Yeah,
He
that's fine.
rescind his plea?
Oh, it's not gonna go through.
Fair enough. Your
Yeah,
Honor.
but I can't accept it. It's, yeah. Okay, so what we'll do
reset for 60 days for announcement.
That's fine.
Something like that, and we can recalibrate and see what we
Okay.
can do.
Okay, go ahead on and give her 60-day reset.
My favorite MIS to remove the
It's a matter of a few hours, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Just have a seat, Mr. Barrington. They have to get
Reset,
yeah, it's gonna take a while because they gotta get it out the system, then she can get it reset.
fair enough, but we're back to
Yes, yes, but I'm doing forfeiture, sending forfeiture. But there's another case, there's a refile, a felony that they just did, and that's what we're doing 2 years deferred. That's what you know.
Is it in the system? Or on the docket?
Yes, yes, they just added. That's
They
the
added it
policy,
to the docket.
331. Yeah, they did add it to the
Okay.
docket. Trust me, I couldn't have done the plea paperwork if they would have added it.
331.
It's in your place.
Okay, you ready?
So look,
Okay, this is cause number 325-304. Case is style of state of Texas versus David Munguia. Is that
Yes, sir.
Munguia?
Indeed.
How you doing, Mr. Munguia?
I'm doing this good. Sir.
Okay, Mr. Munguia, your attorney, Mr. Rojas. Is that a funeral? He's not able to appear today. And this case is going to be recessed. State, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Stand on the 4X, you're gonna get your case reset. Okay. Mr. Grove, we didn't get a response from David Tankersley. You can maybe try to get in contact with him as well and see if.
Yes, sir. I'll try to do that and get back to the court in a few minutes.
Okay, just let him know if he's unable to appear, he could appear by person or Zoom or telephone. All right. I don't see Mr. Blue. Okay, this is cause number 327-990. Case is style of State of Texas versus Charles Larry P. Landry. Mr. Landry, is that your full name?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Landry, I see on this docket sheet that it says that to hire Attorney Pete Dahl. Do we have a,
I was on an earlier case, Judge, so I just assumed that both of them would be the same.
yeah,
I don't
we
remember
hadn't
doing
received a
specific-
letter rep
Yeah, I
from
don't
you.
remember doing specifically.
No, so right now, I got on the trial docket.
Because the other case.
Was on the
of
trial
same
docket?
Nature, and it was on the same.
What, it was dismissed?
trial.
It was disposed of?
It was dismissed by the state.
Oh,
And they reset this one.
right.
And
Okay, what are we gonna do, Mr. Landry? This case is gonna be reset on the announcement docket, give you an opportunity for Mr. Dahl to get his letter of rep in. Okay, then he can get the discovery and everything. Understand? May 9th, okay. Yeah, okay, this case is gonna be reset for May 9th of 2022. That's gonna be set on the announcement docket. Mr. Landry, you can get your reset. You can sign for your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Dahl,
Thank you,
you're free to go as well.
now, Mr. Prosecutor, thanks for the issues.
Court is in session and calls number 327-528. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Jacob M. DeQueer. Mr. DeQueer, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. DeQueer? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. DeQueer. You're here represented by your attorney Dusty Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. DeQueer's case?
Judge, we'd like to keep it with the felony. His felony was reset on the 252nd. Well, we don't have a new date because they don't assign it to the end of the day usually.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll have our court coordinator to keep track of the felony case, and we'll reset it on the same day.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
So, Mr. DeQueer, this will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. Stay in contact with your attorney and your boss.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, this is your last case, Mr. Galmore?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have a blessed day as well. We have any of them ready yet? Who? Hogan?
And on Urban, I need cause numbers that are being dismissed.
I'll go let the people who filled that out know.
Yeah.
Okay, court is back in session and cause number 3236, excuse me, cause number 323888. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Terrell Norvell Antoine III. Mr. Antoine is present with his attorney, Ms. Laura Perazo. Ms. Perazo, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Antoine's case?
Yes, sir. This is going to be a plea, but because it's the mandatory 72 hours in jail, we would ask for just one more reset. Mr. Antoine just started a new job and he can't start his 72 hours, so he could just have one more reset. So we'll
State, do you have any
additional time.
objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, give us a reset date. May 9th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, case is reset to May 9th of 2022 for a plea. Ms. Perazo, is this your last case?
Jeff Trust, this is the one that you called earlier and I couldn't get in touch with him and the bailiff called him. I guess it was about 9:30 and he didn't
Okay,
respond.
we'll do another bailiff call. Bailiff, would you please call Jeff Trust? And in the meantime, Ms. Perazo, you can sign for your reset for Mr. Antoine. Mr. Antoine, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Okay.
You ready?
It's done.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ms. Perazo, Jeff Trust's name was just called by the bailiff. You can try to get in contact with him, his bondsman. He can appear either by Zoom or telephone if he can't make a personal appearance.
Yes.
All right, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, so. Court is back in session. Next two cases are cause number 323-728, cause number 324-002. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Mona Renell Hogan. Ms. Hogan, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Hogan? You okay? Ms. Hogan, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Hogan, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hogan, you may put your hand down. Ms. Hogan, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how you doing?
Doing fine, Judge.
That's good. Ms. Hogan, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about May 10th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, state, are you abandoning the enhancement paragraph?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Hogan, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, so instead of being charged with a DWI second, you'll be charged with a DWI first. And the difference between the two is the second is a Class A misdemeanor, and the DWI first is a Class B misdemeanor. It's a lower or lesser included offense. Now, Ms. Hogan, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge a DWI first, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Hogan, I have before me a document that's titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. You'll notice I'm writing at the top of this document. That writing states that the state is waiving the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, which means that you'll be charged with a DWI first, not a DWI second. Do you understand that?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are two sets of initials. TB is their initials of your attorney, and another set of initials next to your attorney initials. Are those your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box check states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Also, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir. It is.
Now, Ms. Hogan, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Burbank, go over these documents with you?
Yes, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hogan, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State,
Yes, Your Honor.
I have before me State's Exhibits number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2. State, you like to offer both State's Exhibit 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections to stage 1 and 2.
No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Burbank, you advised and counseled Ms. Hogan. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Ms. Hogan, your attorney, Mr. Burbank, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir. It is.
Ms. Hogan, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement in case number 323728 is for 180 days in jail, probated over a term of 2 years, a $500 fine, 50 hours of community service, completion of DWI education classes, drug and alcohol assessment, and interlock device. And that sentence is run concurrently with that in cause number 324002.
Okay, let's see. Ms. Hogan, the state is offering that. Did I give you that judgment back? Did I give you her judgment back? Oh. Yeah, okay. Ms. Hogan, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And however, you will not spend any time in jail because you'll be placed on probation for 2 years. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $467, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $967. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $150 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Did the fee go up to 150? Because one of them say 150, and then on this document it's 125. Okay. Okay, you're required to pay a Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'd have to pay each month while you're on probation, is $120. Will you be able to pay the $120 each month?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, do we have a,
Well, hold on. She is currently on probation in Hardin County. It's a condition of probation. She has been sent to an inpatient rehab, which she is currently. I have a lady here from the rehab center, and because she is in rehab, she cannot start at this time making her monthly payments, but will be out in the next 6 months.
December.
In December. And she could start paying those fees at that time.
okay, I mean, the issue, okay, so she can't pay them right now.
So
Okay.
we're asking that they be
Well,
waived till.
let's do this here. My question, while we starting probation now, if she won't be able to do nothing on probation for the next 6 months.
Well, she's in rehab.
I understand that. So I'm saying, I mean, why are we trying to plea it now? And because once we do start probation start, they got all these other terms of probation. You got community service, install the interlock. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, she was on the trial document, Judge.
Okay. I mean, so yeah. I mean, we can't defer her being on starting the probation because I mean, you got
Well, it's not deferring the probation.
I mean, I'm not, what I'm saying, not deferred adjudication. I'm saying you delaying the start of probation basically for 6 months.
No, because she'll be on probation. What we're delaying is the fees, not the probation.
Okay, so
That
she'll
is
be able to
stay
do
out
community
trouble.
service?
She can do it at the rehab.
Oh, I think it has to be at a facility that's approved by the Jefferson
Oh,
County Probation
It
Office, not,
probably is, Judge, because it's a.
I don't know.
It's a facility that.
that might be something we need to,
Hardin
we need to check out.
Is the lady?
Yeah, she's here.
She's here?
Yeah.
You know, if we take a, make
Yeah,
a
because
couple minutes.
yeah, you would have to talk to, I guess probation over here too.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We'll
We'll-
just take a couple minute break, maybe.
Okay, we'll break on it and I'll get, we got Ray. We could do some of these other cases that we can, move.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got some others on the trial docket, Judge.
Mhm.
Would you show him where?
Oh, okay.
Is there community service on Urban second?
Who has that? No, he said no. Okay, let's do this here. Ray. We, okay.
That was that one that was on.
Okay, Estes Archibald. Mr. Archibald,
You just have to be on.
we have two cases. First case is cause number 321311. And the second case is cause number 321313. Do you have motions on both of them? I just have a motion on it.
No, Your Honor, I think I just filed one motion.
Okay. So you say you're ready on the other case? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I could file the other one. I just figured we were gonna try those two cases together. TW.
Okay. Okay. Hey, file number 321311. I have it still in the, Mr. Archibald, put your mic on mute.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
Could you put your mic on mute? I have some background noise. Thank you. Mr. Mr. Shearer, I have before me a motion for continuance, an unopposed motion for continuance that has been filed by the defense in cause number 321311. State, you have any opposition?
No, you do not.
Okay, so this motion will be granted.
One other request, I asked that this case be specially set on the next setting, because Mr. Archibald has been employed out of state in Tennessee.
Okay. Put him on a, maybe a docket, and maybe in June, July, something like that. Because he'll be the first one on there, and then have him set as number one,
Thank you.
probably in July, something like that. Yeah, now, I have, now, Mr. Matuska, you making an oral motion for continuance in cause number 32131, the second case?
Yes, sir.
State, you have any objections?
No objection.
Okay. Mr. Matuska, both of these cases are gonna be reset. Get your continuance from our court coordinator. Once you get your continuance, that will conclude this case. Now, Mr. Archibald, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. What date is it? Do we have a date?
It's July 22nd.
Okay, this case is reset to, these cases are reset to July 25th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Mr. Archibald, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You gonna send me?
All right. Okay, you free to go, Mr. Grove.
Okay, I'll be back after lunch if I can find it.
Okay. Is Angel Fisher present? Angel Fisher, could you please call Angel Fisher? Come on. Okay, she didn't answer earlier either. Okay, we'll come back to it. Rojas. TB, okay, Travis Vogt. Okay. Ordered in session in cause number 329508, cases style of state of Texas versus Angel Elise Fisher. Ms. Fisher, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Fisher? I'm doing fine, thanks, Jackson. Ms. Fisher, you're represented by your attorney, Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good, Justin.
Mr. LeBlanc, what's your announcement in Ms. Fisher's case?
Good. We waiting on videos. I want to see if she's from Houston. So I'm gonna see if we can go up there and possibly view it now. Set it up. So she can
Okay.
see it.
So you're not ready for trial, is that right?
That's correct.
State, you have any objections to it
No
continue?
objection, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, you can get your continues from the court coordinator. Once you get your continues, you'll be free to go. This is your last case? Okay, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Ms. Fisher, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Go, Mr. Cedric Irving, Your Honor.
Okay, we gotta see do you have any paperwork ready on any of this? It's not ready. Paperwork is not ready. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but they still talking on that. Anthony Woodcock, Mr. McIntosh, Anthony Woodcock. Sit on the trial docket.
Oh, yeah, he's outside. And I have Mr. Newton ready for plea too, but I know that's still being packed up.
Is Woodcock is not a plea, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Court is in session and calls numbers 328-128, calls number 328-194. Both cases, Style State of Texas versus Anthony Craig Woodcock. Mr. Woodcock, is that your full name?
Sir.
Your full name is Anthony Craig Woodcock?
Sir.
How you doing, Mr. Woodcock?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Woodcock, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Charles McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge, thank you.
That's good. Mr. McIntosh, what's your announcement in Mr. Woodcock's case?
Judge, if we could get one more reset, the government and I have been in discussions about this case, and I believe that there may be a way to resolve it, but maybe like a 2 week, 1 week, 2 week reset.
Okay, we're gonna keep it on the trial docket.
Announcement docket's fine, Judge.
Say
No objection.
okay. He said a 2 week reset.
April 4th. That
Oh,
works.
Okay. Mr. Woodcock, your attorney, gonna get your case reset to April 4th. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Sure.
Many do we have? You got who? What about Glau? You got that one yet? I thought I did. Mr.
Cloud.
I thought let me see. No, he didn't sign it. You want to sign the cloud? The one on that you couldn't get in?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 329-372. Second case is cause number 329-374. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Gabriel De Fontenot. Ms. Fontenot, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Fontenot, how are you doing?
Okay.
Ms. Fontenot, I see here that you are pro se. Your case is on what is called our pretrial conference plea docket. And have you been able to get your discovery from the state?
Yeah, I only watched my last court date.
You did?
Yes, sir.
So what are you gonna, what's your announcement on this case? Is it set, are you gonna set it for trial or plea or?
Mm. But you know, I don't even know.
Well,
Your Honor, maybe I have a few minutes to talk.
okay, make sure that she signed that waiver.
The other day I talked to that, so.
Look at, this is, she's, yeah. Hold on a minute, hold on, Mr. Ham.
Yes, sir.
Let's hold on, Mr. Ham. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next 4 cases are styled the state of Texas versus Cedric Zelshawn Irvin Jr. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Irvin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Irvin?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Irvin, you're here represented by Attorney Corey Crenshaw. Attorney Crenshaw, how are you doing?
Doing very well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Irvin, in cause number 328634, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about November 11th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Irvin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Irvin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Irvin, there are a set of initials CI on a line that's next to the box that's checked guilty.
Yes, sir.
Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Irvin, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Irvin, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, before you signed in the initials these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Oh. You have states too. He pled guilty. Okay. State, I have before me states exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer states 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No
objections?
objections.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Crenshaw, you advised in counsel, Mr. Irvin, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Irvin, your attorney, Mr. Crenshaw, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Yeah, the agreement in case number 328634 is for 1 year deferred probation, 20 hours of community service, $500 fine, DWI classes, drug and alcohol assessments, and interlock device. Additionally, the state will be dismissing case number 323712.
That's 323712. 23712, okay.
And in exchange for forfeiture of weapon, dismissing case number 324188.
2 years deferred.
Okay. Mr. Irvin, are you, do you have a regular driver's license? Do you have a commercial driver's license? Regular one? And do we know what was his breath test in this case? If he
It
had one?
was, Judge, it was a .11.
Okay. .11?
I have no reason to dispute that, Judge.
Okay. And let's see. And this occurred after September 1st of 2019. So, Mr. Irvin, the state in this case is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. And during this probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $422, which comes to a fine and court costs of $922. You will not be required to pay a fine in this case. You will not be required to pay probation fees in this case. However, you will be required to pay your analysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of initial evaluation fee of $125. And should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $100. Mr. Irvin, do you understand? Well, first of all, will you be able to pay the $100 each month?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Irvin, you will also be required to perform 20 hours of community service, install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend the DWI education class, and attend and complete a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment, install the interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. The state will be dismissing cause numbers 323172 and cause number 324188. The dismissal and cause number 324188 will also require forfeiture of the weapon in that case. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Irvin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Irvin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. And Mr. Irvin, we will go on to your next case. And your next case is cause number 331782. And in this case, Mr. Irvin, cause number 331782, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about October 24th, 2019, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of attempt possession of a controlled substance. Mr. Irvin, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Irvin, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Irvin, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Irvin, there's a set of initials CI on a line that's next to a box that's check guilty.
Yes.
Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, he didn't, y'all didn't check no boxes. Thank you. Okay, on the next document, Mr. Irvin, I have before me, is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
All right, there's one box that's checked at the top of this document. That box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me, Mr. Irvin, a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Irvin, are you a US citizen?
Yes, sir.
And state, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. Would you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Okay, Mr. Crenshaw, are you advising counsel, Mr. Irvin? Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There's no evidence of that, Your Honor.
And Mr. Irvin, your attorney, Mr. Crenshaw is advising counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Irvin, I'll accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally incompetent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, sir, we do.
Oh, that's this one. Okay. Okay, and what is that agreement?
Yeah, the agreement in case number 331782 is for 2 years of deferred probation and a $500 fine.
2 years deferred, $500 fine plus court costs. Okay, Mr. Irvin, the state is offering that you serve 2 years of deferred adjudication probation. And during this 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $442, which comes to a total of $942. You also be required to reimburse the crime lab by paying a fee of $100. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, your analysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments is $120. Will you be able to pay the $120 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required, you're not being required to perform any community service in this case, because the state has waived the community service. Cause number 323-712 and cause number 324-188 is to be dismissed, and you will attend and complete a drug education class as directed by the probation office, and you will also adhere to the other standard terms and condition of your probation. Mr. Irvin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Irvin, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. And Mr. Irvin, next case, which is cause number 324-188. I have before me a motion to forfeit. Mr. Irvin, do you recognize this motion?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Irvin, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Irvin, I'll grant the state's motion to forfeit the weapon. This weapon will be forfeited to the Beaumont Police Department, state. And as stated earlier, Mr. Irvin, the state will be dismissing cause number 323-712 and cause number 324-188. Mr. Irvin, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow your attorney's recommendation. I mean, you're gonna follow the instructions from our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome.
Take it off and don't press quite so hard. Try again.
Yeah, she won't be, they talking and,
Oh, it didn't have to be on the record.
yeah, hold on a minute.
Sorry, he's gotta get to work. He's,
Do you swear that you never before been given deferred adjudication or regular probation for a felony or misdemeanor in this or any other state except for these? and everything else is pending, those are gonna be. So that's all of the paperwork and the stipulation on top. Do you need a copy of your dismissal?
I don't know if you got the paperwork. Do you have paperwork for me?
His dismissal?
Oh,
He has dismissal.
no, I'm talking about,
Yeah, I have to.
Newton. Okay, I'll sign the dismissals now. That's a dismissal. Newton. Court is in session in cause number 329-714. The case is style of State of Texas versus Kalen D. Newton or Kalen Dante Newton. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Newton, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Newton, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Newton, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Newton? That's good, Mr. Newton. You're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Charles McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, how you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Newton, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document alleges that on or about March 10th, 2021, while you're in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of failure to identify fugitives from justice. Do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Newton, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, are these your initials on the line that's titled guilty? And there's a signature on the back page above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification Defendant's Right of Appeal, is this your signature? And are these your initials? Excuse me. At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal. Do you understand that? I have another document before me. This document is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Newton, prior to signing in these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Newton, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. McIntosh, you advised in counsel, Mr. Newton, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Newton, your attorney, Mr. McIntosh is advising counsel, are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Newton, I will accept your plea of no contest, excuse me, accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Judge.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 8 days, time served with court costs to be taxed or retired.
Mr. Newton, the state is offering that you serve 8 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 8 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $337, but you would not have to pay the court cost of $337 because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Newton, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Newton, I follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Newton, you're going to stand on the exit in front of our court clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
We can do him first.
Yeah. Okay, this is cause number 329196. Case is style of state of Texas versus Brian K. Walker or Brian Keith Walker. Mr. Walker, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Walker?
Doing all right, how about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Walker, your attorney of record is Ryan Gertz. However, standing in for Mr. Gertz is attorney Charles McIntosh. Does Mr. McIntosh have your permission to stand in for Mr. Gertz?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. McIntosh, what's announcements you'd like to make on behalf of Mr. Gertz?
Judge, Mr. Gross just got a new offer on the case, and so we asked for 60 days reset. That way he can review the offer with the client and also with the video of the client as well.
Okay, give us a reset date.
May 20th?
May 20th?
Yes, sir.
That works.
Okay, this case is reset to May 20th. Mr. Walker, you can stand over there and get your reset from Mr. McIntosh. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay,
And Judge, I also have Alec Stelling as well.
okay. Alex Stelly? Oh, okay, this is cause number 329774. Case of style of state of Texas versus Alec Joel Stelly. Mr. Stelly, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing, Mr. Stelly?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Stelly. Your attorney of record is attorney Ryan Gertz. However, Mr. Gertz is not here standing in for Mr. Gertz. His attorney Charles McIntosh. Does he have your permission to stand in for Mr. Gertz? Mr. McIntosh, I see that Mr. Stelly has a felony case.
Yes, Judge, and that's been reset for 45 days. Would ask that this also just get a 45-day reset on this case, Judge.
Okay, do we have a reset date? Do you know?
I just know 45 days is what I was
Okay.
requested to ask for, Judge.
Yes, look, check and see if he has a felony, if they reset the felony yet.
May 9th.
May 9th? Okay, so your case, Mr. Stelly is gonna be reset to May 9th along with your felony case. Once you get your reset from Ms. McIntosh, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Mr. McIntosh, this is your last case?
Yes, Judge, it is.
Okay,
I believe that's mine and Mr. Gertz's last case.
okay.
And I don't think I'm covering for anybody else.
Okay, let me do this here. Okay,
Oh, I may be Mr. Burbank in a minute, Judge, we'll see.
okay, let's do this here. Alan Rosemore for Mr. Let's see, you got Rosemore. This is a trial. Now, did you have a Mr. Ryan Matuska, did you ever announce on Rosemore?
Right, Judge.
State?
Ready, Judge.
Tom Burbank on Thomas Vaults.
Already, Judge. Just rejected the JP offer.
And state?
Ready, Judge.
Okay. Tom Burbank on, what we did, we was pleading on Hogan, right? Okay.
On Hogan, I asked that we reset till after the first of the year so she can finish her rehab. It's a plea.
Okay, get him a reset date. You have any objections, Mr.?
No, Your Honor, that makes sense in this
Yeah.
context.
Yeah, get your reset and you and Ms. Hogan will be free to go.
Couldn't quite get there today.
Kimmler's not here yet. Huh? Oh, that was dismissed. So what we got? We got this one. And that one. 1, 2, 3. We're not ready, reset. What about a Tamanika Williams?
Your Honor, state's gonna dismiss that case.
Okay, to be dismissed. Okay. Okay, Ozan is a JP reduction.
Which one?
Kiana Ozan JP reduction. That's on right, Kimmler.
No, Demonica had not as a JP reduction.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going down the list. Mark Jones, Tom Burbank.
He's here, right? I didn't know.
Yeah, he was here.
We're ready on that, Judge.
State.
I think they have a problem with it.
Yeah, let me check something real quick.
Okay.
Maybe a bench trial.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's on Jones.
Right.
Tara McGinnis is on the trial docket.
Yeah, I know. I was just going down the list. I'm trying to get to the first 5. I'm at 3 right now.
Our state's gonna dismiss case 326-142.
Okay. And that goes, that's a dismissal.
3-2, was that Blake?
It is 326-142.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Jason Sims. That's it right there. Okay, yeah, now it's ready. That'll be number 4. Sadler. Yeah, Sadler. Okay. Let me do this here. First 5 cases are Rosemore, Travis Vaults. He has 2 and 3. Sims is 4, Sadler is 5. And everybody else that's on the, let's see, Mr. Burbank on Deracia Williams.
Your Honor, there's been some movement on this case. I asked for a short recess.
Okay.
Reset because there was a probation offer, but we want something else.
Okay, what, give us a date on that. The rate on page 3 at the top, Deracia Williams.
Right, there's 4 cases and we've done off. Settle it, but
You gonna keep it on the trial docket or put it on a plea docket?
I keep it on the trial now.
Okay, give us a date. May 23rd, okay, 2022, okay. Alter. You can get your reset and you and your client to be free to go. Tara McInnes, that's gonna be reset. You can get your reset. Reset it for trial. What's that?
23rd,
May 23rd. Okay, you free to go. Landry, Charles Landry. Oh, that was already reset. Woodcock, that's reset. And Woodcock is reset. Okay. And Daniel Martinez is reset. Okay, that's, what's that? It's gonna be, what's that date? The same date?
Yes, sir.
5, what, 23? LeBlanc, oh, he was not ready, so that was reset. The Monica had not,
That's a JP reduction that we're accepting.
did she show up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think we told her.
Nepp, Russell Nepp is gonna be a reset. Is Russell Nepp here?
Yes, sir.
Get in contact with your attorney. Your case is gonna be reset. That's straight down to you, Mr. Paget. Who did you have?
I have a plea that's been ready.
Okay.
Right, is that one I had to sign on your tab?
Oh, that's it's Cloud. Glau.
You can champ it. Get your icy hot ready.
You have your discovery certification. Okay. Court is in session and cause number 326010. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Katie Ashton Glau. Ms. Glau, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Glau, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Glau, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Glau, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Glau? I'm doing fine. Ms. Glau, you're here represented by your attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Ms. Glau, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on December 21st of 2019, while you in Jefferson County, Texas, that you was charged with the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Ms. Glau, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Glau, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight
Yes, sir.
or contest the charges? Ms. Glau, I have before me a document that's titled a misdemeanor plea admonishment. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Ms. Glau, are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, is that your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And there are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Ms. Glau, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me state's exhibits number 1 and 2. State, you like to offer states 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any
No
objections?
objection, Judge.
No objection. States exhibit 1 and 2 admitted. Ms. Glau, are you a citizen of the United States?
Are you a citizen?
Are you a citizen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Padgett, you've advised in counsel, Ms. Glau, is there any evidence that she's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Glau, your attorney, Mr. Padgett, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Glau, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Hey, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 90 days in jail, probated over a term of 1 year. $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, completion of DWI education classes.
Ms. Glau, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year. during the 1-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $452, which comes to a total of $952. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments that you'll be required to pay is $165 per month. Ms. Glau, would you be able to pay the $165 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class and have a drug and alcohol assessment, as well as you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Glau, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Glau, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Glau, you can stand on the X next to your attorney and follow our clerk's instructions. Once you finish following her instructions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll put your right thumb in the blue square.
I think he did a, once you get it. Hmm? I know. Oh, okay, Mr. Taylor, hold on. Hold on, let me,
Say that's here, that was on the pretrial conference.
okay, you need her to come up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Fontenot? Okay, this is cause number 329372 and cause number 329374. Both cases are style of State of Texas versus Gabrielle D. Fontenot. We have Ms. Fontenot present in court. She's pro se. She's representing herself, and we also have present state for the state attorney, Ray Shearer. Mr. Shearer, you and Ms. Fontenot have talked
We have talked and we were not able to reach an agreement, so we're asking that it be put on the trial docket.
on the trial docket. Okay, give us the trial date.
May 23rd.
Okay, your case is going to be reset to May 23rd. Ms. Fontenot, you can stand on the X, get your reset. You'll be free to go. Mr. Talil Taylor. Okay, Mr. Taylor, you were represented in this case by Attorney Brent Turk.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Turk is on military duties, so he will not be able to represent you in this case, and I think he's filed a motion to withdraw. Ms. Jackson,
Yes, sir.
could you give me a copy of that motion? And so I can give to Mr. Taylor. Have you received a copy of his motion?
Yes, sir.
You have? Okay. Are you opposed to it?
No, sir.
Okay, well, Mr. Taylor, what we're gonna do, your next attorney is right here, Mr. Tom Burbank. Okay. And Mr. Burbank, we're gonna appoint Mr. Burbank on Talil Taylor. He's on number 2 on the pretrial conference docket. You can reset him. He's still keep him on the pretrial conference docket. Mr. Burbank, is a how far you want it reset to?
Just give me 30 days, Judge. I know
Okay.
he's been on the docket and wants to take care of this as soon as possible.
Okay. We say May 9th? Okay, reset cases, May 9th. Mr. Burbank is gonna get your reset. When he gets your reset from Mr. Burbank, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Tanisha Green? I'll get you.
Do you know who's going to trial first?
Yeah, it's, yeah, it's, let me see. Like it's Rose. It's Rosemore.
Rosemore?
That's the oldest case. Okay, well, you actually number 2 and 3. So you're
Who's
gonna,
number 3?
it's the same guy, Vault.
Oh,
Travis Vaults, 2 and 3. He has 2 cases. So you gotta be back at 1:30. I mean, if number 1 don't go, you're gonna go. I don't know. I mean,
are you going? Are you going? I'm number 2. I try harder.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we had to do an order to we're gonna sign the dismissal, I mean, not dismissal, the motion to withdraw on, Tom, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is cause numbers,
That is my firm intent.
okay, this is cause numbers 326422, cause number 326692, cause number 328106, cause number 328472, cause number 329666, and cause number 330046. All cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tanisha D. Green. Miss Green, is that your full name? Okay, how you doing, Miss Green? I'm doing fine, Miss Green. You're here represented by your attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how you doing? Mr. Adams, what's your announcement in Miss Green's cases?
I want to keep on her felony. Except felony court.
Oh, she did. Okay. Did y'all y'all have the date yet? Okay. What we'll do, we'll have them to check. Okay, Ms. Green, your misdemeanor case is gonna be reset with your felony cases. Your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your resets from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Adams, you can stand over there.
I have one more.
Okay, sign for your resets. Mr. That's Tanisha Green. She has 6 cases, I think. He said that she has a felony case that was reset. You're gonna reset it with a felony if we have a date.
Judge, I approached early this morning on a guy, and I approached with him.
Who was that?
He was on your pretrial conference docket.
Hold on a minute.
Arriaga, Arriaga, first name Sergio on your pretrial conference docket.
Yeah, that was reset.
Yeah, but she just said she didn't get it. I just want to make sure you had it down.
Yeah,
because we
reset for May
approached, and
9th.
It was May 9th.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, okay.
No problem. I just want to make sure we're all on the
Yeah.
same page.
Next case is Donnie Citizen. This is cause number 327164, case of style of state of Texas versus Donnie Ophi Citizen. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Citizen? I'm doing fine. Mr. Adams, I see here that he has a felony on April the 18th. You want us to keep it on the same date? Okay, Mr. Citizen, your case is gonna be reset with your felony April 18th. Your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Adams, this is your last case?
That's it.
Okay, you have Oh, we gotta, okay, court being recessed till our trial docket.